Number 1 Chapter 1, Rubbish Technique. AI Model, Gemini 2.5 Flash. At the back mountain of the Taishuan sect, in a secluded spot, green trees provided shade, flowers bloomed like brocade, and birds and insects sang. Beside a gravel path, there was a large rock taller than a man. On the rock, a young man in a white robe sat cross-legged, cultivating. Spiritual energy rippled around the young man. With each breath, the converging spiritual energy expanded and contracted, following a mysterious rhythm as it gathered towards the young man's dantian. The young man's name was Ji Yufei, a disciple of the younger generation in the Taishuan sect. The Taishuan sect was one of the 3 great Taoist sects on the Tenglong continent, boasting a long history and being an ancient sect. Ji Yufei was an orphan. When he was 8, his master, Wan Shancheng, brought him back to the Taishuan sect as an inner disciple during his travels. Although he was in a Taoist sect, Ji Yufei did not cultivate Taoist techniques. Instead, he practiced a technique called the ancient body refinement technique. Body refinement technique, as the name suggests, is a technique that takes one's own body as the foundation to cultivate against the heavens. The martial skills and divine abilities described in the technique are enough to achieve sainthood through the physical body, and the ancient combat techniques can slay immortals and gods. However, once this ancient secret technique is cultivated, it is incredibly difficult. Even if one doesn't achieve success, they can no longer switch to cultivating other techniques. Ji Yufei, sitting cross-legged on the rock with his eyes closed, circulated the ancient body refinement technique, absorbing the spiritual energy from all directions into his dantian and accumulating it. When the spiritual energy in his dantian was compressed and accumulated to a certain degree, he guided it to shock the meridians in his body. Waves of spiritual energy converged. Whether it was the essence of the surrounding plants and trees or the essence of the sun and moon floating in the void, Ji Yufei refused none, absorbing them into his dantian like a vast ocean accepting all rivers. Faintly, tiny streams of light, thin as silk, could be seen swirling around him. As time passed, 7-colored radiance began to burst forth from Ji Yufei's dantian. This was the spiritual radiance emitted by highly condensed spiritual energy. Gathering chi, charging, gathering chi, charging. Spiritual energy fluctuations, sometimes strong, sometimes weak, spread from within Ji Yufei's body. In this cycle, streams of 7-colored spiritual essence, like a river breaking its banks, charged at the unblocked meridians within his body. Each impact felt as if a 1,000-pound hammer was violently pounding inside Ji Yufei's body. With every impact, a trace of pain appeared on his face. The powerful spiritual energy washing through the meridians brought a tearing pain. The spiritual energy bursting from the dantian was extremely violent, making it feel as if countless sharp small knives were cutting through his meridians. He clenched his teeth tightly, drenched in sweat. Tufts of hair were stuck to his face by sweat, and his white robe was soaked through, clinging to his body. He was undergoing the second threshold of the ancient body refinement technique, unblocking meridians. Unblocking meridians means gathering the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, condensing it in the dantian, and then charging the acupoints on the meridians to make them unobstructed. This way, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth can flow along the entire body's meridians, reaching every inch of muscle and every piece of bone, thereby achieving the purpose of refining tendons, bones, flesh, and blood, and causing the body to sublimate and transform. The ancient body refinement technique is a technique for cultivating the body against the heavens. Without an unyielding will like a rock and relentless arduous cultivation, one cannot even cross the first threshold of gathering chi. There are countless cultivation systems on the Tenglong continent, but the realms of cultivators can be divided into 5 major stages.